right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pewter and Red Podcast here on YouTube, the channel where we talk about my and your favorite NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, we are kid-friendly and safe for work, so you can put us in the background at work and you can play us in the radio while you're taking your kids to school. We're trying to turn over a new leaf here, and I am your host, RTP. So, with that said, let's turn on the rhythm. Let's put on the ticker. And let's play. So, today we are going to talk about the top 5 reasons the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2023 season can end up being a fail. I know this is probably a subject most Buck fans don't want to talk about, and you're probably wondering, why are we talking about this? Well, on my channels, I like to keep my subscribers informed as much as possible. I like to let them know the things that can possibly happen. I don't like to be blinded, and I don't like my subscribers to be blinded going into the season. The reason for that is if things do go wrong, one, it hurts a lot more when you don't see it coming. That's one. And number two, when you don't have any realistic expectations, and things start going wrong, people might tend to start blaming the wrong things because they don't know why it's going wrong. So they didn't know what to look for from the beginning. So they start picking on things that they should have never been picking on and end up accusing the wrong person, whether it's a player, coach, or whatever. And when you're trying to rebuild or start retooling, that's the last thing you want to do is have a mob yelling for somebody's head to roll that shouldn't be rolling. So I like to try to inform my peoples as much as possible of things that could possibly happen. This doesn't mean I believe this is going to happen. These are just things to watch out for and to keep an eye on, just so we have a heads up on it. And of course, I am Mr. Positive. So if I have a top 5 reasons why the season might fail, then I'm going to have a top 5 reason. Well, either top 5 reason why it won't fail, or why the 2023 season will be a success, or I'll have a top 5 reason why we win the division. What do you guys think? Which one should I do? I don't know. You let me know in the comment section. As we go, hopefully, I'm not checking to see if the audio is good. Maybe I should try to check that real quick. Give me 2 seconds just to triple check and make sure my audio should be good. I shouldn't have to deal with that anymore. Let's see. I'm waiting. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so I don't have to ever worry about the audio no more. Everything should be good from here on out. All right, so let's get to it. You see in the ticker, man, where my Twitter handle is at on the ticker right there, at Bucks PR Podcast. You can go ahead and hit me up there. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let's get into it. The top 5. Let's go ahead and break it down.
Hit a breakdown.
Number 5, injuries. Here we go. I usually don't include injuries because every team could sit here and say that injuries is the reasons why their season didn't go as planned. But I do think some people do forget that there are levels to this, like everything else in the NFL. There's a difference like in 2020 where one wide receiver goes out, but we have the depth for people to step up, or our number 1 running back goes down and our backup running back steps up. Injuries in different positions, that's football. And that's counting on your depth. But then you have a year like last year where a lot of injuries to one position or group can really be a problem. Like your starting center going out, losing your starting guard to free agency, your backup guard gets hurt, your tackle gets hurt. These are all type of injuries that can pile up and derail any season. This type of injury bug that no team wants to deal with and in my opinion have no control over. But 1 second, sorry. Um but the first type of injury is where you have them here and they're that type that I feel still falls under the GM. Injuries here and there, because that has to do with your depth. Your GM has to put on your roster good depth so little injuries like that don't mess up the season. Not one injury besides the quarterback should derail a season, no matter what the other position is. During our 3 years with Brady, we've had many injuries hitting different positions, but always found a way to pick up the slack with somebody else. This is a sign of having a good head coach preparing his players and a good GM filling the roster with good depth. This has been done with mostly veterans who've been playing in the NFL and know how to do their job. And some youngsters that we've coached up and been had big responsibilities early in their careers and succeeded. Unfortunately, this year, because of our cap situation, we had to lose a lot of experienced veterans, especially on the D line and O line. Because of this production coming from our depth when on the field used to seem like going from a starter who can make plays on the field to a backup who may not make big plays in the game but be able to handle their assignment and do their job, kind of like Nacho or William Golston used to do. But now the depth might be a backup who can now be a problem and be taken advantage of during the game with just one injury. To simplify it, one injury can have us going from instead of a backup straight to a third, fourth stringer type of performer on the field. How does this make sense? That brings me to my reason number 4. Age. Number 4 and number 5 are kind of together in many ways. For instance, Father Time we know is coming around the corner at any time, at any season it could be, especially for veterans like Levante David, hopefully no time soon, or for Mike Evans or Shaq Barrett. But even in Barrett's case, you add his age plus the injury he's trying to recover from, and it could be a slower type of recovery, right? But that's just the downside of having older, experienced veteran players that hopefully we won't have to deal with this year. But I'm talking about the inexperienced players, the age of young players. There's a lot of great things that come with youth, right? Energy, being hungry, a clean slate to build up and learn the right techniques, the right fundamentals, the mechanics, being able to mold them how you want to mold them. But the downside is the inexperience. We have a lot of that on the D line and the O line because we have so many options with these young players. I have no doubt the coaches will have someone ready to start and be productive when we start the season. My worry is the player that wasn't up to par to start, will they at least be up to par to be a decent backup? Whoever doesn't start, will they be good enough for depth? Which means they're only one injury away from having to be a pivotal part of the team. One play that can take a player from us being excited and going thinking he's going to be a great project to develop to a guy who's not good and causing us to lose games in the same season, aka Luke Gedicke, right? He was never supposed to start right away and just develop till his time came, but his time came week 1. I think our GM has done a great job of adding a lot of talent to this roster to make some depth. And I believe our coaches are great at developing players, but there's nothing that can be done if a young player is just not ready. And that's the chances we're taking with these young players. That brings me to my next reason our season can be a fail. Reason number 3. Chemistry. Chemistry can make a team go on a winning streak. Lack of chemistry can make a team go on a losing streak. It can take a contender and make them a bad team if they don't have any chemistry. It could take a good team and make them a contender. Chemistry can help you pull out of adversity or bring you down and crumble under it. Chemistry can break a team. Chemistry can make a or break a season. These there are two type of chemistries that I'm worried about when it comes to the Bucks. The first one is team chemistry or locker room chemistry, right? Since I've been on YouTube, the one thing I've never had to worry about was locker room chemistry. But last year was a little different. Players talked about how certain players let the Super Bowl go to their head, how some players were doing their own thing. Then occasionally, then personally, I witnessed two different events that didn't sit right with me. Right, one was the time where someone was recording and Fournette was there, and he was throwing money at Devin White. Guess he lost a bet or something and had to pay Devin White. But the way he was throwing the money looked a little disrespectful, and Devin kind of looked like he wanted to punch him in the face. I'm not saying he wanted to do that, but it was just kind of weird. It had that feeling like Devin felt like Fournette was doing a little too much, right? The other incident was after the Saints game. Fournette was going live on Instagram and caught Chris Godwin confronting Devin White about bad talking Jameis Winston in an interview after the game. It might have not seemed so awkward or an awkward situation until Leonard had to let them know he was live. He was kind of like, hey, I'm live. It was kind of like he knew the conversation might turn and it wouldn't look good. So he had to let them know. That made me feel like this might not be the first time there was some heated disagreements on the team. Now, brothers fight all the time, and this could simply be another brotherly love type of fight. But you add this up, plus the interviews of other players saying that the Super Bowl went to people's heads and some players were doing their own thing. And it just seems like a locker room we just might need to keep our eye on. The other chemistry I'm worried about is a lot more simpler. It's the chemistry between the quarterback and his weapons and the quarterback and his coordinator. This brings me to reason number 2. Plain old the quarterback. So this year in Tampa, the Buccaneers have a quarterback competition. And you know what what they say? When you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. Some think that this is a real competition. Some think this is not a real competition. Whether you're rooting for Kyle or you're rooting for Baker, I would really love it if it wasn't a competition, even if that means Kyle, who I would love for him to be the quarterback, is not the quarterback. And Baker was the quarterback all along. I would prefer to have a quarterback who's right away just wins and takes over or proves himself to be the starter. The quicker that happens, the more reps, the better chemistry the starter can have with his weapons. With that being said, if it's truly a competition and the coaches truly don't know who to put under center, then they need to play this thing out until they're certain. Even if it costs reps to the eventual starter, they're just, they just need to make sure they get it right. Then there's just flat out talent in the quarterback room, or the lack of. Like, does Trask even have any talent at all? Does Baker have any talent to be unlocked like Geno in Seattle? If both these answers are no, then this will be a problem for this season. And last but not least, but the number one reason why we can fail this season. Oh, you can't even see it, but it's the offensive coordinator. Not only is he in charge of unlocking the talent of our quarterback room and also the chemistry between the quarterback and himself, but also drawing up plays to make the chemistry easier for the quarterback and his weapons. And And then there's just the football games, right? Like, did he come up with a good game plan? Can he adjust on the fly? Does he make good halftime adjustments? Does he feel for the game? Does he have a feel for the game? Can he protect the quarterback for himself? Is he aggressive enough? Is he too aggressive? Is he too conservative? Is he balanced? Does he know when to abandon the run? Does he abandon the run too fast? Can he even get the play on time? It would be crazy to think that Dave could check all these boxes at first as a first time coordinator as soon as the season starts. I personally believe that he will fail at some of these things here and there. But he'll continue to get better as the season goes. And even though one or two of these things here and there may cause us a game or two, any more than that might cost us the season. And that is your top 5 reasons why the season can fail. So those are the top 5 reasons why our season can fail. I personally, I see real OG in the building. What up, real OG? What it do? What it do? What it do? We're here. We're live streaming it. I just wanted to, I'm supposed to be asleep, but I wanted to get this out. Listen, I know you guys are probably thinking, what is going on? RTP with the Pewter and Red podcast is out here just putting out content. Like, I never do this, but hey, listen, we're slowly growing, right? I'm getting more and more likes on the content. The more you guys like these contents, the more you comment on these content, it gives me motivation. It gives me motivation to keep bringing out more content and bringing something else out. Now, I'm not going to just bring out anything just to have content. I'm not going to do that. I've told you guys this before. But it does motivate me to like start thinking of more things we can talk about. And the more, like I said, the more you guys like the videos, the more you guys comment, please comment in the comment section. Let me know your guys' thoughts. The more you guys do that, the more it motivates me to come in and press record or go live and just put some content out. I was going to save this for Friday, but I just had to get it out because I just wanted to get these top 5 reasons why something might go wrong in our season. But we still got some Baker Mayfield film study that we got to do. Now that we've done the top 5 reasons why things can go wrong, I got to do the top 5 reasons why things could go right. And I got to do the reasons why we could win the South and why the rest of the South is not good. So there's still plenty of content we got to get into. But I appreciate you guys again watching the content that I am putting out. And again, let's grow this thing together. I can't do it without you guys. So we had the ticker on the bottom. As you can see, we got the ticker right there on the bottom. Hopefully that looks nice. I'm going to be checking the video out after. I got some little music in the background. Hopefully that's not too loud. It's just completely in the background where you could barely hear it. If you can even hear it, you should be able to hear it. But as you can see, we're getting better and better with this stuff. I haven't messed anything up yet, I don't think, on this live. So we're getting better and better. Bear with me. It's your man RTP. Once again, I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Maybe Sunday, maybe both. Maybe Saturday night. Who knows? Who knows what the content? The creamsicle jerseys have came out. If you haven't yet, we did a live stream about the creamsicle jerseys. Go check that out. And 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks. 2 weeks and training camp will start. So yeah, so that'll be coming up soon. And then the content really is going to overflow. The content's really going to overflow. So I'll see you guys next time I see you. Remember, pewter and red till we're cold and dead. I'll see you guys.